Okay, so since I've been getting a lot of questions about what I have done to lose 61 pounds now, I just wanted to share. I've heard a lot of stuff about like they don't like this or they don't like that or whatever it is, and that really doesn't matter. Um, you kind of make it to fit what works for you. I have my way of doing things, and I'm going to share a few of those. But outside of that, like you really make it work for you. So if you don't like dairy, that's not cooked in things, don't eat dairy that's not cooked in things. If you don't like Brussels sprouts, don't eat Brussels sprouts. Um, if you don't like veggies, you're going to have to suck that up. Because the only way to get one of the things that I really like about this particular way of eating is that if I'm responsible with it, it provides good gut health. So, and vegetables are like kind of crucial to that. So, you can do other ways of eating, and maybe they'll work for you. Um, they didn't for me. So, low fats, uh, like Atkins, like or strict keto. Um, oh God, what else have I tried? Like everything. Um, they they won't last. It's just my opinion, but it won't last. You'll go back to eating whatever. So you really have to figure out whatever you decide to do, you have to figure out how you can make it sustainable. And that's what I've been able to do with Dirty Lazy Keto. So first recommendation, honestly, is to buy the book. It's Dirty Lazy Keto, about something about breaking the rules, by Stephanie Laska, and that's Laska. It's on Amazon for like $11.89. I've been sending free copies out to people, but number one, it's getting expensive. And number two is I canceled my Prime membership. So there's that. But one of the things that I just talked to someone about this is like, you got to clear out your house. And it doesn't have to be all the snack foods and the junk and all that stuff. If you have other people in your family, it's the stuff that's going to get you. So, like, my big thing is potatoes. So, like, all my mashed potatoes, instant mashed potatoes, or like any kind of potato is gone from my house because that is like a serious trigger for me, and I will eat a billion of them. Load up on veggies you like, find them, try out different ones. Don't forget our taste buds change every 7 years. So, just because you didn't like green beans when you're 8 doesn't mean you don't like green beans now. So, clean out anything in your house that's going to sabotage you. Might seem wasteful, but give it to someone who needs it. And then go get the things that you need. So starter foods is tons of seasoning. Drink mixes if you don't like to drink water. So like, Kool-Aid Zero, or I do a lot of coffee. I'm also big into Bang energy drinks. One of the things that you'll notice is that I buy a lot of different kinds of foods to try things out, and it might seem like it's expensive, but for my family, we were eating out like a lot. And so relatively to what I was spending on eating out versus the stuff I spend on like new products, it's not bad. So start off with the simple stuff. Make sure you've got tons of veggies that you'll eat. You can go frozen, canned, fresh, whatever you want. If you're the kind of person that's like, there's certain vegetables that I just think you should get frozen. Cauliflower, broccoli, or at least in the sealed bags, the sealable, like steamable bags. You don't have to use those as steams. I actually pop those out and eat them raw, or you can cook them. So those will last about a week and a half in the fridge, but I like to go frozen on my veggies. For cauliflower rice, they have a ton of different cauliflower rices now. Like I got some the other day. It's like a medley with a tiny bit of peas and carrots, so the carbs aren't super high. I got one with risotto. It's a risotto one, and it's pretty good. Aldi's, if you've got an Aldi's, they have cauliflower rice, relatively inexpensive. And their frozen veggies are very inexpensive. Like we're talking 89 cents for a bag of broccoli that's steamable. So anyways, make sure you got plenty of veggies in your house. It's like super crucial. And then find the snacks that you like. I, for the longest time, was doing salami, sausage sticks, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. I do like cheese, so there is cheese in my house. I don't do a lot of milk because I would have the worst time with milk. Found out a tip though. So I don't use a lot of milk and things. I like milk on my granola or cereal or whatever. And like the only thing I've been able to find that's like super, super low carb is Ripple or those like fake milks. I'm like, nuts don't have udders. Like, But the thing is that you have to find what works for you. So I have decided now that I'm 61 out of 70 pounds down. I don't even think it's going to be 70. Anyways, I'm like very close to goal. I've been adding a few things back in just to see how it affects me. And one of the things that does not affect me is Fairlife milk because I only use like a quarter cup. And so Fairlife and Mootopia, which are lactose free milks, real milks, but they're just lactose free. They are only 6 grams of sugar versus 12 in a normal milk. So really 6 divided by 4, we're looking at 1.75 each, like for the quarter cup. I'm fine with that. The other thing is just to have plenty of proteins in your house. So like you need to have easy to make if you're not very good at like cooking, or you need to have fresh, like whatever it is that you prefer. So I have a mixture. Like I always keep sausage links. The sausage links, you got to read the back of every single label to see where your carbs are at. Sucks, but it is what it is. You've got to read the back. But I do the sausage links and I find the one that has the zeroest carbs. So like the one I usually buy has 1 gram of carbs per serving on sausage, because sausage is hard to find at a 0 gram carbs. So, and then I have plenty of chicken breasts. You don't have to go lean on your meats. I just happen to love chicken breasts. So if you want chicken thighs because they're less expensive, go with chicken thighs. I keep a lot of ground beef, 80-20. Again, so it's cheaper and it has higher fat, which is what I'm looking for. I do ground turkey sometimes because I actually enjoy it. And then I'll make brisket on occasion. But lots of proteins, because when you do keto, a lot of people will be like, okay, these are your ratios. But when you do dirty lazy keto, it's just that you need to get enough fat in your diet. So like say I'm allowed 138 grams of fat. I don't want to take all that in. I want my body to burn the fat that I have. So I'm probably going to be sitting around like 95 grams of fat, not on purpose or anything. It's just what's in my natural diet. And then I'll be sitting at probably 50 is my average. It's not on purpose, but my average of carbs is about 50. And usually half of that is fiber. So it's coming from my veggies, or like if I have sola bread, or, whatever that is. So, but you have to have plenty of protein, because the protein is what helps your muscles grow, and the protein is what helps keep you, makes your hair doesn't fall out and your nails still continue to grow and your face stays youthful. So you still got to make sure you want to try and hit your protein goal, or pretty close to it. And then the fat, you don't have to hit that every day. So the big thing is counting net carbs. I keep saying the biggest thing when it comes to, in my opinion, being successful is reading the labels. So you've got to look at the back, because you might be looking at pasta sauce, or like, let's take pizza sauce, for example. I made a pizza the other day out of this awesome cauliflower crust, not the stuff you get frozen in the store. It's all a lie. It's like 20 grams of carbs and like 3 of those are fiber. It's just that they have cauliflower in the mix, right? So point is that I made this pizza the other day and I was trying to find pizza sauce. Well, I had to look at all the labels. Bertolli, 7 grams of net carbs. That's too high for just the pizza sauce. There is another brand and it was like 5. But ironically, the cheapest, which was great value, was actually 3. So you got to read the back of the labels. If you don't know how to count the net grams of carbs, it's just total carbohydrates minus fiber minus any sugar alcohols. And sometimes that includes something called allulose, which the FDA hasn't figured out where they want to put that on the nutritional guide. So you really have to trust the packaging on how much allulose is in there, and it'll tell you what the net grams of carbs are. The other thing is, don't give stuff up. Don't give stuff up. If you want to eat something, find a way to make it keto. So tonight, I really want dessert. And my daughter accidentally stumbled upon this amazing dessert. And what it is I take high key cookies, which you can buy at Target. You can always send me a message and be like, where do you get this? Where do you get that? Because I shop at like 6 or 7 different places, because there's certain things I like. But I take high key cookies and you mix it with a little bit of the Fairlife milk and then you put it into a mug and make a mug cup in the microwave for like 90 seconds. And oh my gosh, it's so good. And it's like 2 grams of net carbs. And you feel like it's super, super off the books. Like, can't tell anyone you ate it, but it's not. So you really have to find your way of eating that works for you. So it doesn't have to be a specific, you have to eat this, you have to eat that. There's just things that are easy convenience food. You don't want to overdo cheese. Your stomach will not like you. You also don't want to overdo sugar-free chocolate. You won't leave the bathroom for 5 days. So it's all finding a balance on what works for you and what doesn't. Like I said, bread is not really a problem for me, so I have bread alternatives. I did not have to break up with bread. So I have the carb balanced tortillas. I have Sola bread. I have inked keto. Like, I have a few different like bread sources. I use Carb Quick for waffles. So I don't not eat things that I want to eat. I just find a way to make them keto. And I swear to gosh, if you Google anything, you're going to find a way to make it keto. So you just have to figure out how to spend your carbs and where you want to spend your carbs and then go from there. That's it. I personally, you probably won't see me putting up anything about what kind of weight I've lost recently because I started working out. So my body is retaining a lot of water because it's trying to heal my muscles. So I'm prepared for that. I will tell you one of the things that has made me ultimately, I think, very successful on this, and that is that I always have a drink in my hand. Not like you think. So right now I'm sitting here and I've got a Bang Energy, and then I just finished a coffee, and in the house where I've already finished one is my water bottle. So I always have a drink to where I'm not snacking. So I don't know if that's helpful, but you just have to do what works for you, and I will help you as much as I can. But I really just recommend getting the book. And then she has a YouTube channel called Dirty Lazy Keto, Stephanie Laska, and she will explain so many things. She's got a video or a podcast on like almost any topic you can think of. Things that you might not struggle with that I do, or things I've struggled with that you might not. So, or just questions. Like she's got, hey, start here. Like she's got an entire line of videos. It's like for your first week. Be prepared to be a little grouchy for the first few days. Don't give things up. I never gave up Diet Dr. Pepper, and I never gave up coffee, and I never gave up my creamer, and I never gave up sugar, except that I gave it up. It wasn't actually a problem for me because I always drank diet, but I did switch to like a monk fruit because stevia and Splenda actually have 1 net gram of carbs per packet. And I drink a lot of coffee, so that adds up really quick. So if I have to do it on occasion because that's all they have there, it's not a big deal. It doesn't seem to impact my weight loss, but for the most part, I stick to something called Whole Earth. So, but I'll tell you, that is the most successful thing I've done. I also skip breakfast, but I've always skipped breakfast. So I think that kind of helps too. It kind of gets my body into a mindset. And then I start eating, when I say, I don't purposely do intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is just a fancy way of saying don't eat. I probably do what's called a 16 and 8, but it's not on purpose. It's just that there's 8 hours out of the day where I don't eat, and that's called sleeping. It's probably 9 hours a day. I will tell you that I do a lot of celery and peanut butter. Again, you got to look at the back of the jars. The only peanut butter that I found that is super good for me is either almond butter from Costco is my favorite, but other almond butters too. But you gotta look at the back. Every single one of them has a different level of sugar. And then Santa Cruz, and you can get this at Whole Foods or Natural Grocers, and it's called Santa Cruz is the brand, and it is the best peanut butter I've ever had in my life. It's amazing. And I eat a lot of celery and peanut butter and a lot of dips because you can have all kinds of dips. So those are kind of my go-tos. I can send you guys, if you want, I can send you a food diary. I don't have to keep track, so there's not as much from recently as there has been in the past. I don't count calories, but naturally I am full between 1,300 and 1,600 calories a day. And it's not because I'm trying to have this huge calorie deficit. It's just kind of the foods that I'm eating, and I'm fuller, if that makes sense. So this is me following Dirty Lazy Keto. Going from a size 18 to 16, 18, I guess. But a size 16, 18 down to a size 6, 8. And extra, extra large in my shirts, and now I'm a medium. So this worked for me. I think it can work for pretty much anybody. And you just got to want it. Don't do it before you want it. And if you don't have time to work out, don't work out. It's fine. Just 80% of the battle that you fight with your weight loss is going to be in the kitchen. You'll read that 1,000 times over. That if your diet ain't right, it doesn't matter what else you're doing. So I hope this answers some questions. Yeah. I'm going to do a Q&A just a little while. Last time I didn't get a lot of questions, but whatever. All right. Bye.